we're gonna open the scene up in front of the museum. What's the name of it? La Musée de Civilisation Américaine, right? The Museum of American Civilization. It's in Quebec City, to which you guys have driven. Question for Kim. Did you bring the guns up or did you leave them back in the United States? Every gun you own is, in one way or another, illegal to import to Canada.
I think I smuggled the guns in somehow.
Okay, yeah. The way I've been suggesting is taking them apart into individual components and hiding those in the cases of your computers.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Probably they pop those open, say, "Oh no, that nothing in here that looks like drugs," and an AR-10 receiver on its own, probably not that alarming looking, especially if you wrap some wires through it. So, okay, Kim is ready for any violence that might occur, he thinks, and the rest of you have gotten to the museum. You're standing in front of it.
What time of day or night is it?
What time of day or night is it? What were your plans like? Did you get in late at night, go straight to the Airbnb and say, we'll get in there in the morning? Or did you arrive in the afternoon, dump your stuff? Question is, Jesse, I presume you performed certain deeds when you arrived at the Airbnb?
Yeah, I was going to mention that, but yes, I did.
Yeah, so you might have seen him doing things in the backyard that, compared to what many of you are used to, didn't seem that worthy of comment at all. He was just burying something. As you do.
It wasn't yelling or anything, it's fine.
Muttering in some foreign-sounding language.
So we're all in front of the museum?
Yes.
So
and it's, what should we say, mid-afternoon? A lovely Quebecois day marred only by the sound of jackhammers from down the street.
So Kim brought along some surveillance, like earbud things and some other stuff that he can equip you with, so that you can all surreptitiously talk to each other if we want to send in a group to scout or something. But that's up to, I think that I should leave that up to Angel and Jesse, since they're the criminal mastermind.
Criminal element.
Yeah.
Are we here to do a crime?
I presume you know that you're there to...
It says burgle a museum, but it doesn't give any specifics as to what or why.
Oh, usually a crime.
Yours doesn't say that it's...
I thought we talked about this.
Well, I think we're stealing something.
Yeah,
I guess I shouldn't say that so loud.
You had plenty of time in the drive up to discuss this, unless you just spent it all, talking about what to do when there's a boy you like. But no,
I mean, Porcino Lostos.
How old is Cloissoné?
I think 19.
Yeah, 18. Just graduated from high school.
Okay. She knows that you're up to steal something. She doesn't know what it is or why. Although she knows it has to do with you.
We're recovering Native American property from the Canadians.
Yes. What you are there to recover is an artifact known as the Bone Setter's Head. It is a stone base, roughly spherical.
Oh, I remember this now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no, please continue. I didn't have these details, so I'm.
They're in the packet. It's 600.
It describes it as a big stone boulder head, but you're giving more details.
Yeah,
so
it's about 600 pounds and 2 feet tall.
That was missing.
It is 2 feet of solid rock. So the good news is they probably don't have the things you focus your security efforts on are small, priceless gold statuettes that someone could cram down a pants pocket and wander off with, not 600, not something that is team lift and not really that valuable.
So a couple questions actually. So what time of year is it? Like, is this, spring? Is this the middle of winter in Quebec?
I'm going to say late spring, early
spring.
summer.
What is the exchange rate between significant and minor charges? I couldn't find that in the book, but I remember it.
It's 10 to 1, right?
Okay, great.
I think that's right.
Yep.
And have we cased the joint already, or is this the first time?
No, this is, you just got in. So this is the casing.
Got it. All right. So we're not doing the deed. This is us actually like sort of walking around.
No, you'll case it and, see what the situation is. You all got the map of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you plan to scope out the site of your future heist?
Well, just as a reminder, Kim's got audio headset thingies, earbuds or something, so that you can all communicate. And he's going to hand those out before anybody goes inside.
Is Kim going in with them or not?
No, I'm going to stay in the van.
Oh, I bought us all tickets. I thought we would just avoid the lines.
Yeah, there aren't lines.
How do I know?
It's a very small. It's lovely. It's not like one of those sharp, ultra modern museums with all the interactive displays. It looks like it was well designed in 1989 and has been carefully preserved since. So it is one story. It's small and specialized. It's all just historical stuff, except for in the back, there is that annex of modern art. Also, the position for it, in Quebec, there is a big green space called Battlefield Park, which has some actual real-life museums in addition to this fictional one. And it is on the edge of a 55-meter cliff. And the cliff's at about this angle, so it's a very steep. It's got assorted trees and scrub growing up out of it. Overlooks the St. Lawrence Seaway and one of the highways. So you've got the museum on the top of the cliff with its terrace looking out over this. The view provided by this 55-meter drop. And then at the bottom of that, you got some houses and then some streets and then the St. Lawrence Seaway.
So we probably shouldn't all go in together. That would probably be odd. Cloissoné, why don't you and I go and the rest of you can follow?
Yeah, okay. And I kind of look at Jesse to see if Jesse thinks that's a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Right, let's go in.
Kim's going to stay in the van.
I will stick with Jesse.
All right, so it's Jesse and Angel and then the mother-daughter team. All right, what areas are y'all checking out?
So the Bone Setter's head is facing the cliff, right?
It is out in the terrace, right?
Okay, so then I guess I make my way towards the terrace and sort of look for routes that.
I think it'll be suspicious to go right there. We should sort of wander through the galleries what if they check video later?
I guess. Sure. Do you want to I guess. Let's go this way, and I point basically in a random direction this time.
All right, you wind up in 20e siècle.
Put your hand down.
It's a museum. It's a normal point, right?
Rude.
Mom,
though.
why do you have to make everything weird?
It's really unfair. That's so unfair. I'm just trying to give us. Let's just go.
Okay.
All right. So what are Jesse and Angel doing while the ladies are being related to one another?
I would like to approach the front desk, please.
Okay.
Who's there?
There is this tiny, shrunken-looking old man with one arm. Bonjour. Hello.
Oh, hello. Sorry.
American?
Yes. Je m'appelle
You can
Angel.
speak to me in English.
Oh,
It
well,
is fine.
I was kind of hoping to get some practice, but I suppose that I should bow to my lack of experience. Thank you.
Oui.
I just sorry. My name is Angel. I'm sorry. I put out my hand to shake his hand.
He shakes your hand.
Does he have a name tag or?
It says Francois.
Hello, Francois. As you may have noticed, I'm in from the United States, taking in some culture, and I just wanted to check and make sure that will I need any additional information? I noticed that a lot of the signs they're all in French, and
No, they're bilingual. There's French and there's English. So here's the English brochure. Everything is. We've tried to make everything as accessible as possible and present a historian's perspective on each of the display items.
Hey, y'all got a tour?
No, but there are docents throughout the museum who can answer any question. They are experts at the areas in which they have been stationed. We do have an audio tour.
While Francois is talking about this, I'm going to scan the desk and see if there's a coffee cup or any personal effects nearby.
Not really. He's got like a little book of crossword puzzles.
Okay.
So he chats with you, gives you the brochures, gives you the audio tour, which is like on early 2000s era audio technology. And so he gives you the English one, smiles at you, asks if there's anything you're particularly interested in seeing.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm taking everything in, but I'm particularly interested in sculptures. I've heard that you have quite the piece on display over in the terrace, and I pointed in obviously the wrong direction.
Oh no, the terrace is behind me. And yes, we have a large collection of contemporary art. I believe that the special exhibition right now is a Native Canadian artist who has a series of sculptural forms that are meant to evoke to abstractly evoke events from Canadian history.
That sounds fascinating.
I liked it. Some of them were a little vague for my tastes, but I'm more of a historian than an art fan. So yeah, you chat up Francois. He'll remember you for sure now. So Cloissoné and Karen, you've looked through the 20th century exhibition. They've got a really nicely preserved Canadian Expeditionary Force World War II uniform. It's whoever preserved that really knew what they were doing.
Look at the stitching. Oh my goodness.
Is it like supernatural? Is there like a curse in it?
No, I just mean they repaired it with period stitching. You can see that they actually did the closure of the cuff properly, in fact. I mean, you
I immediately
right?
interest. Not IRL, my character.
Karen is in fact crouched, like squatting next to it so she can get the angle on.
I sort of move on and kind of like try to casually make my way towards the bone setter's head and like try not to let my mom get too caught up in the stitching again.
All right. So you arrive by the bone setter's head, and there is a person standing there staring at it, and you can't immediately tell if it is a man or a woman. Hold on, let me find the picture. Come on. I wish I could just drag and drop, but I cannot. So this person is about your height and dressed in a tracksuit with the hood up, and arms folded, and the hood is way forward, so their face is completely shadowed.
Okay. Can I use my identity as a child of dirtbag origins to see if this person is up to some kind of shenanigans?
You don't need to roll. They're
Okay.
not doing anything much other than staring at this.
That's what I figured, but
And when they see you arrive, they kind of and step aside so that you can see the plaque, which describes that this head apparently depicts an entity called the Bone Setter of Days and Years, and that it was discovered in Ohio in a mound builder era settlement about 3,000. It's estimated to have been built about 3,000 years ago. And the figure of the Bone Setter of Days and Years is an ambiguous intermediary between humankind and larger impersonal forces in the universe.
okay.
And while you're staring at it, the person in the tracksuit says, "So what do you think?"
Well, it's it's hard for people like us from a modern perspective to really get into the mindset that the people who made this would have been in, but intermediaries like this always make me feel, I don't know, I don't like thinking about big stuff out there. I like focusing on all of the things I can control here, because there's already so much stuff we can't control.
There may be less. I've always felt that there was less we controlled than we believe.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't like to think about it sometimes. What makes you say that?
The person just turns to you and kind of tilts their head and is like, "Do you think you're good? I don't know you and you don't know me, and we're just strangers talking before an ancient piece of art, but do you really think you're going to get very far with that attitude?"
Well, that feels weirdly personal, I guess. I guess I sort of feel like what's gonna get me far is working hard and studying, and trying to I guess what you would keep my nose clean, or whatever. I kind of just stutter off.
Karen, by the way, is like barely holding herself back from leaping into this conversation. She's like on tenterhooks.
As you're having this conversation, another woman, kind of wanders up to the head and, looks at the person who you're with and is like, what did you say to her? Look how upset she is."
I'm fine.
Oh,
Narrator, she was not fine.
This woman seems more mom-like than your mom. She is, dressed in a soft sweater and has a huge purse and unfashionable jeans and comfortable shoes. She seems extremely normal.
For a brief moment, I envy this normal mom existence, but in the end, I turned towards the comfort of the strange mom that I know, and I turned back towards Karen, kind of like being vulnerable for a moment.
Karen is not even aware of that because she's looking at this woman's outfit and like there is just so much judgment in every line of her face. It's just like, or that to a museum?
What you notice about the other one, the tracksuit has had all signs of branding carefully removed from it.
So
you're pretty sure it's a Nike brand tracksuit, but all the swooshes, all the embroidered swooshes have been picked off.
Interesting. Can I see actually evidence where they have been like, have they been torn off violently, or does it look like someone's like carefully unstitched them, for example?
It looks like it was carefully done with like one of those little thread hooks. All right, what are Jesse and we'll switch back to Jesse and the doctor. What are you gonna go see?
I lean into Jesse and say, symbols. We need more symbols. You'd think that a museum would be pregnant with them, but it's all this.
You got a brochure.
We have a brochure. We have Francois's name. We have several views of the building out front, but I'm not sure.
It's a souvenir shop.
So
there's a souvenir shop.
Well, he's been going on about this sort of thing. I've been looking for cameras and security guards and.
All right. So are you you gonna just do a slow orbit around the building?
Yeah.
Apparently looking at everything, but actually looking at everything.
Exactly.
All right. So yeah, if you are looking for symbols of the museum, the souvenir shop has all the museum branded crap you could ever hope for.
I'm going to save that one for a little bit later.
Okay.
Jesse, I've been with Jesse long enough to know that I just follow at their elbow and try not to stare too hard at anything in particular and follow the professional.
Hey, why don't you look where you're going? You've just bumped into this tall, hulking man with a thick beard.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just taking in the sights. I sometimes
and he puffs his chest up at you, and he's like, "You
my
need to develop a
begins-
better appreciation for personal space, man."
I'm so
Hey, now, look, this here, my friend, we don't need to be getting off on the wrong foot. We apologize.
As you should. And, as he is glaring at you and puffing out his pectoral muscles, this tiny wren of a woman comes up and kind of flutteringly touches his bicep and says, "It's fine, honey. They didn't mean it. They didn't mean it." And he, turns and glares at her. He's like, "Did I ask for your input?" And she's like, well, no, but I just felt it. He's like, "Why don't you quit while you're ahead?" And she's like, I'll just be quiet and go look at these figurines.
Well, friend, you got a poor attitude. We're all here just relaxing, taking in the culture. There's no need to be all aggressive.
Hey, maybe you should shut the fuck up.
I want to kind of size this guy up and
All right. What have you got that would let you size him up?
Well, if I were looking at him like a mark, I could use the former Carney identity, but that's not really what I'm going for. I'm kind of trying to figure out what.
Give me a notice.
All right. Let's see. That would be a 50, which is
right on.
Right on.
Okay. He's a big guy, and from being in a carnival, you have a sense of when someone's gestures are natural and someone's gestures are a little bit forced or put on or performative, when someone is doing something straight at you and when someone is doing something for the crowd, there's a little bit of him that's doing this for the crowd.
All right.
But he had, his aggressive swearing has given you an opportunity to size up one of the guards who has casually showed up with a mild neutral expression and a hand on the casually resting on the butt of his pistol, as if just to keep it out of the way while he walks around the museum.
All right, he's coming over here.
Have a name tag?
He's not coming over there. He's just being in the same room with you and the loud dude.
All right.
Does he have a name tag?
The guard, it says Jean-Claude.
Well, okay, so if this guy's putting on a show, I want to play along with his show. So I'm going to get up in his face also and be like, man, you ain't got to be disrespecting us. We just coming in here on vacation. Why you got to be carrying on like a fool?
All right. Give me a connect roll. And how serious about this are you?
I got a 29. I'm not actually trying to, well, I guess my goal here really is for him to throw a punch. I would like him to punch me.
You are really trying to spring this mousetrap.
Yes, I want to see what happens when that happens.
He looks over at the woman just for like a second, just like his eyes cut away like this, and then he backs up. He's like, it's like, hey man, go fuck yourself and leave me alone. And he's, and kind of skulks off and, does one of these at the security guard, who gives him the best, I'm memorizing your features security guard look. And, the woman comes up to you and she's like, please don't provoke him. He's really very sweet.
Can I make a notice on this woman?
Mm-hmm.
Just see what her deal is.
You can make a notice on both of them.
I will make a notice on both of them then.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that is 88. I don't know shit.
Okay. You think that she may be, she seems really scared and deferential, and like it's habitually scared and deferential. And he's got this, barely constrained violence is radiating off him in waves.
I respond to her with, man, he need to take some anger management classes or something.
Oh, they don't seem to work that well. I'm sorry. They call me Chirp. Who are you?
Well, my name's James. This is my friend Andrew.
Hi, James.
Hello?
Hi, Andrew. Yeah, me and Mansteel, it's been a long
I'm sorry,
trip.
did you say his name was Mansteel?
Yeah.
All right.
It's not funny. And at this point, he realizes that she's no longer hanging on his every word, and he turns, he's like, Chirp, you coming? And she's like, yes, of course. And she just, gives you an apologetic wave and flutters off to be by his side.
Has there been a like a beverage? Like, have we seen? Is there a cafeteria here? Are there like little?
There is a cafe on the left side of the building, And it's sort of, you can buy stuff on the inside and you can buy stuff on the outside.
Okay, but can is there food and drink inside the museum?
They allow food and drink inside the museum, surprisingly.
Could I be carrying a water bottle?
Yeah.
All
No
right.
reason why not. They permit that in Canada.
Perfect. So I probably have like a small clutch, not actually a purse, which I open and like, so it barely fit a water bottle in there, which I take out and I lean close to Cloissoné and I say, I need you to spill this on that guy. And I'm, and I'm sort of like, with that gesture with my head, like in the hoodie, honey. Would you like some water?
You're on mute.
I say, yeah, I'd love to have some water. I'm just gonna drink it over there.
Be careful of the
and
exhibits.
what was that?
So as she's sort of turning like toward me, I'm going to like place my foot right next to her foot.
Okay. So you guys do the deal where she trips and falls and spills water on the darkness.
That's correct.
Okay.
I'm willing to push my own daughter to make this happen.
All right. And the darkness got ooh, and brushing their sleeve.
So immediately I immediately rushed forward. I'm so apologetic. I ignore my daughter on the floor. Probably would also water all over her.
One of you give me a lie roll to conduct this deception.
Sure. Which one would you prefer? Do you have a preference?
Which of you has a better lie? I bet it's Cloissoné.
I have a lie of 60.
That sounds like you.
Yeah. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to make painful generalizations about teenagers, but here we are. I figure Kim or Karen, being an adept tends to suck up everything else about you. So child of dirtbag origins, yeah, subs for lie.
Yes, it does. So I rolled before we officially decided I was rolling. Would you like me to roll again, or do you want me to keep the roll?
You can take the roll that you got.
It's a 62, which is a failure.
Okay.
I'm wondering if I can use my fear passion to flip-flop it.
This doesn't look like a cop.
Okay.
And you haven't broken a law.
Okay. I accept my failure with grace.
Okay. And the person in the tracksuit, although tall, kind of stumbles when you crash into them, and you can tell they're not big, that the tracksuit is mostly empty, and that whoever's inside probably weighs about as much as you.
I'm sorry, was there something else, Greg?
And, looks at you and tilts their head. And now that you're close, you still can't really tell if it's, a man with very delicate features or a very plain woman. There's no makeup or, cosmetics. It is an appearance from which everything has been removed. It's a very clear, relaxed face, looking at you with no particular expression.
So Karen uses the opportunity of the spill and the surprise to get close and to paw at the garment. So I grab the wet seam or whatever, and to I'm so sorry. She's usually not so clumsy. I'm so sorry, and I want to spend 2 minor charges to cast garment tag.
Roll it as the darkness looks at you and says, "You're not really sorry. This deception demeans us both."
So I'm rolling my Vestimancer ability.
Yeah.
All right, let's find out how I do. That is a 36, so that is a success.
And the other woman, is like, what's going on here? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you grabbing them?
So the other woman, I'm sorry, was the mother type, right? I just was trying to dry your daughter off. I looked to her to
Friend.
see if he gives me a what?
Yeah, they don't look anything alike. But
Okay, I see.
as she gets near you, her purse moves independently.
I turn towards her and like so when you say is it like floating? Is it?
No, it's like there's an animal in it.
Got it.
Okay. So as she's
And just a little bit, just a little.
So as that happens, I say, I'm sorry, sometimes my mom can be a little weird. As her purse is like behaving strangely. Can I kind of check out the purse and try to figure out what's going on there?
You can try and get a glimpse at it as she unzips it and sticks her hand in. And you can see that there's light coming out of the purse. And it
Go ahead.
and she just reaches in there, and you can see that her hand is moving vigorously inside the purse, and then she pulls it out and zips it up again.
So she carries the light out of the purse with her?
No,
No.
whatever was emitting the light was inside there. It looked like an LED light.
Interesting. So, Americans? And I'm helping Cloissoné and moving her back away.
And the darkness just shakes their head and is like, we're American too.
Oh, really?
Are you here for the head?
I'm sorry? My lies are completely transparent.
Points at the bone setter's head and said, is this what's brought you here? Has this object drawn you out of America and into Canada? Is it the subject of your interest?
I look helplessly at Cloissoné.
You two just gonna bail?
The cutting scene there sounds like
I say, look, I don't know exactly what you're talking about. You guys seem kind of weird, if I'm being honest. I mean, I know we're kind of weird too, but you seem also weird, but in a different way.
And the darkness says, normalcy is a pernicious delusion. And the woman with him just kind of gives them a smack on the shoulder and is like, don't say that. Don't say that.
Right. I got it.
Seems
I'll edge
genuinely
no point.
upset.
Right. Got it. I'll edge no point. So it's been lovely to meet you.
Yeah, I can see you've got a lot to talk about and heads to look at. So and I'm going to drag her pretty much into the modern art section.
Yeah.
As you're backing away, you bump into somebody. And
right.
Turning around, it's someone you recognize. You don't know Mara well, but you did a ritual with her one time. Maybe a couple times. And she's the one who told you to come get the head. And when she sees you, she just kind of gets wide-eyed, says, excuse me in Spanish, and then just bolts. All right. Anything else y'all want to do at the museum?
I'm like, Kim? As we're in the Modern Art Museum or whatever. There's other people here, Kim, for the head.
There's other people there? What, like
the head. You need to watch the doors. I don't know when they're coming out. Give a brief.
Can you take like a picture of them on your cell phone?
I take a picture of them on my cell. Oh, I guess I can't hear. Can I hear Kim?
Yeah, you're mic'd in.
I say, I'll take a picture, Kim, and then I try to take a picture.
All right. Are you gonna be subtle about this?
I'm going to try.
All right, give me that lie roll.
You could try and get a selfie of yourself with them in the background.
It's a 63.
Which one were you trying for? The matron and the darkness, or Mara?
I was trying for Mara because that's the one my mom is really excited about.
Okay. Yeah, you got. Yeah, it's all blurry. It focused on you. She's this colorful smear in the background.
I did a bad job, I say.
Quick, send me the picture. I'll follow them.
Okay,
it's so
I said.
I've seen her Instagram feed. She's just a terrible photographer.
You shouldn't say that about your own daughter.
You're gonna call me out in the museum. Jeez. I sent it.
To be honest.
Yeah.
All right, what are Jesse and Dr. A doing? Where have you headed to?
If we're hearing this conversation, I'm commenting, audibly over the mic. Man, Mara didn't say nothing to me about no other group coming here for this head.
Laura is here right now with some guy in a tracksuit and...
You don't know that she's there with the guy in the tracksuit.
Oh, that's correct. I'm so sorry.
She's
Actually,
close. She was proximate.
No, that is exactly and immediately the assumption my character makes. This guy is deeply into the tracksuit. Mara's also. I'm just making that assumption. So
Okay.
Big
leap.
We don't know that, but it does.
All the weird people are here together.
no.
Yeah,
No,
we
I
can't.
know it.
We know that a bunch of weird people are here, including but not limited to ourselves.
And
All the weird people who aren't us are here together.
off-brand garbage you would not believe.
He's wearing a tracksuit. My mom thinks that's weird, but that's not the weird part. It's everything else.
All right. Anything else getting done at the museum, or are you withdrawing?
Kim is trying to is going to roll her computer hacker ability for it substitutes for notice to try and surveil the weird person that was. I only got like the weird colors. It's like a blur. I'm gonna try and see if I can.
All right. Yeah, give it a
go. 32 under 55, success.
Okay, so Mara comes out the front door of the museum, beelines right across the street to a coffee shop where there is another guy sitting in the window with his baseball cap pulled low and his collar up a little bit, looking extremely unchill. Mara goes in to talk to him.
I'm going to try and take pictures using the tablets. I don't think that I have anything in my equipment that would take better pictures.
Don't you have a telephoto camera?
I think
it says I have a shit ton of radio and communication gear, but I don't see the.
Oh no, it's on Hell. Oh no, yeah, it's the doc who has the good camera.
You are welcome to use it though. I share like we're all in this together.
Yeah, if it's in the van, I'll try and use that to like.
Give me a hacker roll to see if it's in the van.
It is not in the van. I got a matched failure.
Yeah, all you're getting, the sun is in the exact wrong position. You're trying to get it so that the window isn't like a glary mirror with, the camera that's on your phone or on some other camera. So you pop out of the van and like scuttle around trying to get a better picture. And you see both of them just turn and look at you directly.
God damn, it's a bad feel.
What y'all doing?
I'm gonna go over and try and get some coffee from that coffee place, and try and play it off.
All right. As you get near, Mara jumps up and like tugs the dude's sleeve, and the two of them disappear deeper into the coffee shop.
Yeah.
The coffee's really good though. They do like this French press. Man, you can tell those beans were just freshly roasted. There's nothing like, they haven't been sitting around in a canister. They grind them right there. Oh, that's a good.
Yeah, I get a damn good cup of coffee from this coffee place. and see if I can overhear these people talking.
They appear to have bailed out the back. With that matched failure, yeah, you're not getting anything more out of them.
I am going to head towards the souvenir shop.
Okay, there's all kinds of crap you can buy with the Civs logo on it.
Is there anyone behind the counter?
Yes.
And do they have a name tag?
It's Marie.
All right, I'm going to kind of wander for a little bit, pick up some things, put down some things before I wander over to the desk with Marie.
Bonjour.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, I'm sorry. My French is I'm up from the States. You know.
Oh, me too.
Oh, really? How long have you been in?
Just a few months. I'm on an internship. It's paid though, so it's okay.
Really? Well, do you find the French is strange? I can't believe the number of things that you pick up that you think that you recognize, but all the labels are in French.
Oh, well, no, I'm used to it. I'm a third-year French student.
Well, you have one up on me then.
They tell me my accent needs work, but I got the grammar down.
Well, I'm looking for something really, special. I see a lot of these things. I mean, they have the logos on them and all, but you turn it over and it's, made in China. And
is this for a special, lady friend or, gentleman friend?
No, unfortunately, I've not had much luck in that department. It's for my
same.
Yes.
Yeah, it can be real lonely being, the only Jersey girl in the city of Quebec. You know how it feels?
Well,
she kind of reaches across the counter and pats your hand a little.
Oh, I roll to have my heart warmed.
Critical fail.
Do you know if there's anything made locally, perhaps something that you would really only be able to find at this museum?
I do. They
Really?
had an artist in residence, and he did some ceramic pieces. They're gorgeous. They're not cheap, but they're exquisite.
Wow.
And she, kind of brings you over and takes you by the arm, and it's kind of, you're like, is she flirting with me? She's like literally half your age, but very pretty.
I am immensely oblivious. I've become very interested in all of the ceramics, though.
Okay, yeah, they're little figurines and statuettes, and then some ewers.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit more about the artist?
Oh yeah, and she gives you the whole spiel about this, Canadian-born artist who traveled to Japan to study narikomi techniques, and then came back and applied those to the native clays of Canada and blending those, and trying to incorporate native pigmentation and blah 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 blah. $600.
Without blinking twice, I pull $600 out of my wallet.
And she lights up like a young intern who's just made a sale. Okay, so you now have this, and it's a really nice bowl. It's the glazing is exquisite.
Beautiful. Is there anything that has a picture of the museum on it?
Yeah, there's postcards.
I will pick up some postcards as well, tuck them into a bag.
Yeah, you can get all the museum-y. They don't have anything of the head, but you can get all the museum-y tat you want.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, Doc, can you pick me up a T-shirt while you're in there?
Yes, of course. And I pick up a T-shirt. In fact, I pull out my cell phone and start taking pictures of things and send them to people, get a whole gift list going.
All right. So you guys have seen what you need to see. Did you get the file called Jesse Notes Floor Plan?
I did. I would like to know how is the head displayed? Is it in a glass case or just on a
No,
plinth?
it's open to the air on a plinth.
Okay. Okay. The second thing I'd like to do before we leave the museum, preferably as close to hearing that Mara is here. Do we have a phone number for her?
You do.
Yeah, I want to call her.
Goes to voicemail.
Hey, Mara, this is Jesse. I'm just giving you a call about that thing we talked about. If you could give me a call back, I got a real urgent question for you. Thank you.
All right. So let me quick run down what Jesse in particular noticed about the museum as a future crime scene. It's tight. It's not like you need to cut through the ceiling and abseil in on a cord tight, but it's well done, well-maintained security appropriate to a collection that contains a lot of pieces of gold. So there's cameras. You can see their positioning pretty much all. So, you got a camera. Let's see if I can do this. So this one watching here, you got one watching here. I think there's one here and one here. So it's very hard. There's sort of a perimeter of vision in play. This is, you think, where all the administrative stuff is happening. Guard station here. That's where you can see the cameras are, that's where the feeds come out. During the day, looks like there's 5 guards or so, as well as a number of other docents, tour guides, and the like. The doors and windows have magnetic locks. The kind of thing where you're like, oh yeah, if that's interrupted, some alarm is going to go off. The wall out to the terrace here is all tempered tinted glass. It's a slight tint, but you're guessing that the cameras aren't going to pick up details out on the terrace through that, especially at night. Let's see, what else have we got? Unless you miss your guess, the cameras are closed circuit with battery backup. They're not Wi-Fi enabled. They're not something that allows, and they weren't built for remote access. The main doors and those onto the terrace are tempered glass. You can see where the bars slot in. Cutting or smashing those would take a lot of work, and going at the front door would be obvious from the street. The emergency exits on either side are steel doors with crash bars. Let's see, call odds or evens.
Evens.
And it's odds. One of the doors was incorrectly installed. That's the one on the left side by the bathrooms, right next to the guard booth. But that one, there's a gap between the strike plate and the latch. You're like, yeah. That, so you got one loose door, but it's the one on the very far side from the head. All the glass stuff is rigged to detect changes in pressure that arise from being cut or broken. So you could maybe cut a hole in the center without setting off the brake the brake detectors. It'd be tough though.
How tall is the building?
Just one floor. So it's about, like 15 feet tall.
Is there like a screen or a net that covers that courtyard that's open to the sky?
From walking on the inside, no. It is wide open to the sky, but there are bars at the top. It's not like barred over, but there is a line of spikes around it, kind of curved out. And they look pretty thick.
So in regards to the emergency exit, which is on the right side of the building, it looks like a span of, it's hard to estimate, maybe 15 or 20 feet before the terrace. Does that immediately meet with the cliff face, or is there any overlap there where someone could edge around and then hop the terrace?
Okay, so this is all over the cliff, and the cliff kind of continues on along here. But yeah, you could maybe pull up a car, and yeah, climbing onto the terrace from there, you'd have to go over, you'd have to get past, you'd have to bypass a fence.
Okay.
But the wall is only about 4 feet tall. So, you know, not too hard. It's doable.
The tough thing with that would be getting the head over a gap like that.
Yeah, getting the head in general is going to be tricky.
Well, if the head is sturdy enough rock, we could knock it off the 80-foot drop and recover it in the morning.
Out of someone's backyard.
If it's made of stone, that's meh.
It might break. It would certainly be incredibly loud. And, you know, you take something that's round and 600 pounds and roll it down a slope like that, the amount of force generated is going to be enough to knock its way into somebody's wall or tip over a car when it impacts.
I do kind of want to do that just to see what'll happen.
Nobody said your characters have to be smart.
Do we have a consensus? I'm sorry, I've read the material, but I'm very curious. Do we have a consensus about why we're doing this? I know we have this sort of ineffable idea that this is important, the head is significant somehow. Why have we all convinced ourselves to come together to steal this head?
Why, for the
I
glory of
believe my
the
character
story,
was-
of course.
My character is doing this as a favor to someone who's very important to them.
Got it.
Yeah, Jesse owes money.
Yeah.
Got it.
And you've seen this thing. Dr. A has, you know, the conspiracy board showing a bunch of different artworks from different eras and different parts of the globe, all depicting the same face as the one that's on the head.
Interesting.
And, you know, Mara told him, with the head out of place, everything's out of whack. And that restoring the head may go a long way to restoring some balance. Kim's got more going on than that, but it's really Kim's story to tell or not tell.
Perfect. All right, so I'm doing it to restore balance to the universe probably at this point.
You know, at least a little bit.
At least a little bit, that's fine.
Well,
Tiny bit.
that's why we're stealing this head.
We're not stealing it, honey. I tried to
Sorry,
tell you that.
We're turning it to where it belongs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Right.
not keeping the head.
The
The
world
head is being returned to the people who made it.
the weight back to the center.
Mojo stuff. Yes.
Mojo stuff, yeah.
You can just think of it as cultural reappropriation.
It belongs outside a museum. All right. I'm going to take a little break and mute my mic, but when I come back, I want y'all to talk amongst yourselves and figure out your heist plan. Or at least start on it. I'll be right back.
All right, so I'm thinking, assuming we can solve the problem of moving the 600-pound head, I'm thinking we might have a better shot trying to pull it up onto the roof and get it over the museum instead of through the museum.
Well, if the museum's roof can support that kind of weight, I actually think moving the head, something that heavy, has got to be the biggest problem, right?
I mean, that's going to be the challenge.
But how do you even move something that's 600 pounds?
You get a dolly and some like moving blankets. You wrap the moving blankets around the head. You put it on the dolly.
Not a piano. You're not going to damage it by bumping it against a banister.
Yeah, but it's 600 pounds and I was in the other game. He describes it as being on a plinth, so it'd be easier to like wrap it up in something and then shove it over onto the dolly.
Do we have a vehicle that can take that kind of weight?
I think the van can carry it, but
Yeah, easily. That's like not even
All right,
not even 6 people.
All right. Will it carry all of us with it, or do we need other cars?
I think it'll be fine. It can move like a desk or whatever. Why couldn't it move ahead?
We also have multiple vehicles. I know I have a very nice Audi.
Okay, weird flex, but okay. But like, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
So the security guards are armed. We need a distraction, I think, because if they wander by while we're moving the head, that would be bad.
What about the guard? What are those other people doing? It's Mara and the people she's with that we have to worry about, especially if they try to make a move at the same time we do, or even before. The clock's ticking on this.
Well, do you want to try and jump them when they make their move?
Well, I don't want to do anything
I
violent.
do know one distraction we could try. You could turn into a swan.
Cloissoné, we're not discussing this again.
It was just an idea. I mean, it would be distracting if there was a swan on the
You
camera.
can turn into a
Mommy is not
swan?
turning into a swan.
Can you
I
turn
was
into
getting ready
any
to be all
other thing?
surprised by that, but I don't think so.
Mommy is not turning into a
I'm
swan.
taking
Not
notes.
now, not later, all right?
It was just an idea. I mean, this seems like it's
Happy
really
fun.
important. It seems like it's turned into
You're
a swan
gonna-
important.
Today I met me a man named
Make-
Mansfield.
make
I ain't worried
like
about nobody
better
turning into a
Swan.
swan.
Is that it? Is that it? You
What
just
was
like
it?
better?
I know.
I think you should turn into a swan. That seems really like distracting.
How big a swan we talking? Like a regular ass swan?
I mean, regular swans are pretty
Why are we
big.
talking about this?
Actually,
I mean, if it's a
I'm
big
also
enough
very
swan, it could
curious.
pick up that head.
A swan is not going to pick up a 600-pound stone head. I promise you. I
If it's
speak
real big,
Well,
about
we could
knowledge.
buy a propane tank at a gas station and set it up to like be on fire in the dumpster, and I'm sure that would
You
be
don't
very
need a propane
distracting.
tank for
You
that.
just described an act of international terrorism.
That might-
Very distracting.
Sorry,
That might draw more heat than it distracts.
I mean,
That's a good point, though.
It's
Well-
a dumpster fire. They just
well,
say it's a
it's not
dumpster fire. That's why it's a
doctor.
term.
what?
Dr.
Yes,
Angel,
doctor.
you were saying something?
Yes. I may have some actions that I can take to help us maintain a little bit more stealth as we are partaking in this particular endeavor. But can we back up a little bit? I'm sorry, Karen. We haven't really had a chance to talk about this, compare notes. I suppose you say that you can turn into a swan. Yes, but
Why are we obsessed with this idea about me being a swan?
but no, we're walking back from that, and I was simply wondering if you had any more, I suppose, mundane transformational abilities,
Yes.
such as.
Well, the simplest thing to defeat the cameras probably is I could go in there invisibly. I mean, for a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that short, is it?
Well, I mean,
It's like it's a minute per,
I like to
minutes equal to the roll, right?
I like to underpromise and overdeliver.
Look, you said you're mentioning a distraction, and so I thought of what would be the most distracting thing to do. And
Can you
you
make
mentioned
someone else invisible?
SWAT attack!
distraction, but it's hard to be a swan.
With mommy being a swan.
The
One time, it was one time in your childhood.
Can
if
Can
the issue
Karen
that we're
make
trying
Jesse
to address
invisible?
is to remain undetected as we are committing this caper. I can certainly put my abilities to use. I have yes, several different soporific effects at my disposal that could be used to dull the senses of those people inside the museum. That's the reason why I've been gathering all of these lovely pieces of pottery and t-shirts and pictures and brochures. I do have something in mind. I'm not sure that it will be the proverbial silver bullet, but I really am quite excited to see what happens, if I am being perfectly candid.
Doctor, this isn't an experiment.
Well, for you,
Crime
maybe.
we're committing.
Of course. This
I
is,
mean, in the service of a greater
Kim?
good.
of course.
Kim, can you do anything with the cameras?
From what I could tell, they're not Wi-Fi enabled, and I can't really hack into them remotely. So
If we break them, will that make the
Am I
camera?
supposed to know what that means?
Don't worry about it, Mom.
On the other hand, shining a laser pointer at them or spraying really anything on the lens will pretty much make them useless.
Greg, are there cameras on the parking lot or the area outside of the museum?
Nope.
Okay.
There's a camera like across the street at an ATM, but it's not gonna pick up. If you drove by it, it would tell that it was a large white van. It's not gonna pick up a license plate or somebody's face.
Okay.
would it be possible to like it basically behind the terrace or whatever, it's like a wooded area? Is it someone's backyard or is it like a park?
It's behind the terrace is a cliff.
Right.
But at the bottom of the cliff is somebody's yard, but
Okay.
guiding the head so that it rolls the way you want to. The cliff is studded with trees, so it is gonna. Have you ever seen an old Japanese pachinko machine?
Right. I was
Eggs.
thinking about the suggestion with the laser pointer. I was wondering if it'd be possible to like shoot a laser from somebody's backyard into, but
Nope.
I don't think it sounds like it.
Angles are wrong.
Yeah.
But an invisible woman could just jump up and grab the cable on the camera. Body weight would certainly pull that out of the unit.
If they didn't notice, but Greg, I assume my police officer uniform is in fact an American police officer uniform, not a provincial police uniform?
Well, we could.
It is a Cincinnati police uniform.
Got it. So not exactly likely to convince the locals. Right.
I'm going to lean into.
It's a Cincinnati police uniform from 1977.
Jesse, how difficult would it be to procure a security guard's uniform from the same company?
Well, on such short notice, I don't know if we can do that, but I mean,
Well,
we got
there's
a lot of security guards. They got security guard uniforms.
there's probably some spare uniforms in storage.
Good thinking. Good thinking, honey.
Thanks. I'm literally a straight A student. Good thinking is like one of my things.
The guards themselves, the uniforms are not complicated. Karen noticed that there isn't a uniform shoe. They had different shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much pants, a UPS colored polo shirt, and a name tag and a gun belt.
Is the museum?
Please go ahead.
Is the museum still open right now, or are we after that point?
I think it's after that.
Okay.
I think it's after.
We have lost our chance to steal things from security guards.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you've got days, as far as you know. There's not a hard deadline. You can case this for a week if you need to.
Do I believe that I could cast Dress for Success based on uniform materials that I just bought to look like that uniform, or would I actually need to acquire one?
It would have to be from the company. It wouldn't have to be one that someone else had worn, though that would be the ideal. I mean, you could break into the security company's headquarters, but that seems like a spot where they would
like enough for an evening.
or
maybe you could bribe one of the security guard, like try and locate either former security guards or whatever, and see if you can like buy their uniform.
Or even
or break
steal
into
it.
their
Break
break into their
into
apartment.
someone's house, or even maybe even their car if they
Yeah,
change out of their uniform before they go
that's a
home.
good point. Kim, would you be able to keep an, I'm sorry, I'm not a huge technical individual, but is there some way that you could keep an eye on all of the cars coming in and out of the parking
Yeah,
lot?
I can do that. Yeah, especially if I borrow that telephoto camera set up in
Okay.
like an alley or something, and so I have a view of the building and like record the license plate numbers or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you could. There's a couple ways you could do it. There's an alley that's convenient. There is there's a picturesque view because again, it's near it's part of the big battlefield park. So there's an area where you've got this gorgeous view of the trees and the overlook, and you saw a couple artists there with their sketch pads.
Yeah, I could
So
tell people I'm a photographer if anyone asks.
yeah, setting up there, no one would be somewhat unobtrusive.
Yeah.
Although the views are all like to the north and the museum's to the south. But
Right.
All right, so it sounds like what you guys want to do is gather more intel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to look up equipment rental companies and see about getting a crane, like a small, like the kind you can fit in the back of a pickup truck.
The crane, okay, so you're doing crane research. It's not promising. There are small mobile cranes, but they, it's small by the standard of a crane. If you want to set it up next to the head on the ground, you can probably get one that'll work. But on the other hand, you think two dudes with padded crowbars would be just about as good for knocking it off the plinth onto a dolly. A crane might be overkill. Or you could get some team lift straps and just try and do it that way. 3 people, yeah, 3 people could definitely do it. 2 people, maybe. 1 person, maybe that man-steel dude could. But yeah, no one's gonna just go up there and hug it and suplex it off and pick it up and carry it out, except perhaps Eddie Hall, the world's strongest man.
Could Kim buy a drone and then use that as a distraction, like fly that down through
You've
the
already got a
courtyard
drone.
and see if I can like get the guards to come out and look at it or whatever.
You could, like bang it into the glass at the front.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I see a dumpster zone, but is there an actual loading dock where the museum takes deliveries and stuff like that? Because that's
It looks like it uses the emergency exit by the special expositions. It's not a loading dock, but it's on level with the floor, so you could run a ramp down to that, load stuff in. It looks like that's where they do most of their loading. The dumpster zone does have a door. It looks like that's where they load in the cafe's daily supplies and such. Now, where it says dumpster zone, you can actually get in there from the outside without having to go through the museum.
How is it another emergency door with a crash bar?
Yes, like the exit ones, but another possibility. So here, you can just walk in here. It's very secluded, and the wall there, you could theoretically just punch through.
Interesting.
Anything's a door if you have a big enough sledgehammer.
This would be more a job for a Milwaukee Sawzall, and it would be loud. But there is already construction going on. You heard the jackhammers during the afternoon.
I would suggest the quickest route out of the museum that is friendly to moving a giant head is probably through the, I guess, eastern or the right-hand side terrace door and through the special expositions and into that loading bay you were talking about, Doctor.
Yeah, that is for sure the shortest distance. But you're crossing 2 camera arcs to get there.
Well,
Could you get like a infrared flashlight and use that to burn out the camera?
Yeah,
You
Karen can go in there invisible. She can take care of the cameras.
There are any number of ways to wreck these cameras. The problem is not going to be how do we stop the camera. The problem is going to be the guards are going to react as soon as they see a camera go dark.
I could try to talk to the guards.
Have we got an idea? I'm sorry, go ahead.
If they're inside, that would be weird and suspicious, but if you can get them outside for non-suspicious reasons.
Or if we could engineer a false alarm on the security system and like a faulty readings or something. If the glass is pressure sensitive, maybe we could I don't know, hit it with something.
Oh yeah, it would not be hard to make. It would not be hard to make it read a breach. All you need to do is take a real small diameter drill bit, drill through the detector section. It'll detect a breach. The electronics will detect a breach, but a person walking by is just going to be like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's a hole the size of a nail, and so a person wouldn't see it, but the electronics will detect it. So they'll think it's a false positive unless they go over it inch by inch and find the one little hole.
So, Cloissoné, I know we're trying to restore balance to the universe, but I would like to raise you to adulthood without a criminal record or you ending up behind bars like your father.
That sounds great, and I like that. I like that idea.
So maybe not talking directly to the security guards while the crime is going on so they can identify you later might be a good idea.
I just thought maybe I would be like an innocent passerby, but when you frame it like that, it sounds scary and dangerous, so I'm not interested anymore.
So,
Tom's job is done.
As a point of detail, what does Karen's invisibility cloak look like?
It is in fact sewn with peacock feathers, and the eye of each of the peacock feathers is carefully stitched over with an eye patch which blinds it.
Wow. So it's like, well, I'm picturing like a bolero jacket for some reason. Okay.
I'm sort of thinking like a half cape. I don't know if it has to fully cover me, but I was sort of thinking like a matador's cape almost.
Oh, so like really long and drapes like a train.
A little bit, but short in the front. But yeah.
Okay. And does it have a hood or no hood?
Well, again, the question is, does it need to fully cover my back? Then it has no hood.
Okay.
How many guards are there at night? 3.
All right. So you guys are going to take a couple more days and scope some more stuff out.
I think for this night, I do have, I know that you said that this was not an experiment, but I do have some tests that I would like to run of the Mojo variety. Could I borrow someone's body for an hour or two? It's nothing.
You're
nothing
not permitted to volunteer for that one, Cloissoné.
I don't know. I mean, I trust him, but also why?
You're all welcome to attend. It will be a sort of seance communicating with the forces beyond the ken of mortals, all of that sort of thing. I promise you that the person involved will be absolutely fine.
Will they be wearing clothes, Doctor?
They will be wearing clothes, yes. It is a simple medical procedure.
You're not. That's not comforting.
Kim volunteers.
How are you feeling, Kim, about the possibility of perhaps ingesting materials that would change your state of mind?
As long as they're non-addictive, I'm okay with it, Doctor.
I trust you, Doc, but I ain't volunteering for this one. Just to be clear, I'm not comfortable with this.
Well,
Sounds
Kim,
like ghost possession is involved.
well, I wouldn't say ghosts. Ghosts imply that we're dealing with the forces of someone who is dead, and this is more seeking spiritual guidance. The procedure that I am, I suppose there's no point in being circumspect. I'm going to take a pill of Septol, Septeol.
Oh, it's an injectable.
It's an injectable. Okay, well.
Cipitol's injectable. And it's not strongly addictive. I mean, you can get addicted to anything, but it's not something where there are hordes of rampaging Cipitol addicts.
Knowing that
Not yet.
It's about on the level of propofol,
Mhm.
if you're familiar. The drug that killed Michael Jackson.
Well, I don't tell them that part.
I mean, probably the reason you like Cipitol better is that it is marginally safer than propofol.
The exact procedure is I will give you a precisely measured dose. This was my position for many years. It will reduce the barriers in your mind a little, open you to the universe, I suppose, and that will allow us to then speak to the universe through you.
Open you to the universe, the friendly, friendly universe.
Yeah, Doc, you know why I don't like this plan.
But you've probably seen the doc pull information out of thin air using Cipitol before. It's not usually, you know, the door will be unlocked at 10 o'clock at night kind of information, but like big picture stuff, yeah.
I can't help but feel that there are several other people here with perhaps supernormal skills and abilities, and I personally would feel much more secure knowing what forces are in play that we're not going to get off of a blueprint.
All right, so you're gonna drug Kim? Kim, you down for this?
Yeah, it's better than anybody else getting drugged.
If it's anything like ayahuasca, I would expect a lot of vomiting.
It's very rarely.
It's so much gentler than ayahuasca. So, all right. You know what? I'm not even going to make Kim roll for this. This is kind of Dr. A's shtick.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, give me. You know what? And I don't think I'm going to make you roll for it. This is a calm, controlled situation. Kim lies back. Is the rest of the crew going to be present while this happens?
Yeah, wouldn't that be safer?
I think I'm definitely present. I think I'm both like drawn and repelled by supernatural stuff at the same time.
I see it as a valuable learning opportunity.
All right. So yeah,
this is something you don't want to do.
What's going to happen is that Kim will
let a man drug you, take hallucinogens, get into the occult shit. Well, maybe that one we'll talk about.
It's not a hallucinogen. It is a narcotic.
Oh, got it. Yes.
Actually, I believe it's technically a hypnotic. So what's going to happen is that as it comes on, first, Kim will enter a hypnotic state in which short-term memory fades out and inhibition goes right out the wall and physical paralysis sets in. So there'll be about 10 or 15 minutes where Kim will probably, it's the sodium pentothal stage, where if you ask him a question, you'll get some kind of weird, babbled, but unconsidered and probably honest response. And then, deeper than that, you get access to the Cipitol intelligence.
May I ask a question, which is, my character background suggests there's something wrong with Kim's legs. Kim, are you in a wheelchair or something, or?
Kim had a previous leg injury and has limited endurance, but can walk for up to a mile, but it's very stressful. And that's sort of, I'm thinking, like, if I end up getting possessed by something that you're summoning, then I won't be able to get away as easily as somebody else.
Although you will have those massive marine gorilla arms.
Yeah.
Which is a good reason. They look like cantaloupes covered with veins.
Yeah.
All right, but that's not going to happen. Cipotal has never been able to move a body except for like the mouth. All right, so anybody gonna spring a question on Kim while Kim is in the suggestible state? And Kim, what are you gently mumbling about while you're passing through the suggestible state?
That the I'm going on mumbling something about Masons and 9/11 was an inside job.
Wow. Okay. So nobody else has any questions, and then
I am taking meticulous notes of Kim's physical state through all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a logbook with every communication that I've had with the Cipotal intelligence, tracking reactions to the drugs, everything like that. So I am basically sitting down and writing everything.
I am standing around very clearly agitated and like fiddling with a baseball bat. And just
you guys don't have a baseball bat. You can have some kind of makeshift bludgeon, but unless you brought one up from the States.
I might have. I don't know. But yeah, okay.
Bringing sports equipment over the border. What's wrong with that, officer?
Yeah, that's legal. But,
so yeah, you probably got like a candlestick.
Yeah, I have something heavy. Just
a big, heavy candlestick shaped like a jolly troll.
I'm a little bit fascinated, but I am very clearly unhappy.
Does the doc have sedatives?
That's exactly what Cipotal is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kim is a male, right? Kim is a male or female?
Kim is a male.
Kim.
Yeah.
I say, Kim, how old are you?
37.
Oh.
Oh, I thought Kim was much younger than that.
Oh, is he younger? I didn't know.
I'm figuring his late 20s, but
okay, 27.
Mid-20s, yeah.
Oh.
All right. Any questions for the Cipotal intelligence then? I will handle these.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that question was in character.
Yeah.
Same question. How old are you?
No, so at that point, Karen did a double take. Just catching the end of that. Wait a minute.
Cipotal, can you remember what we talked about last time?
I think so. You were asking about how the universe was destroyed.
Very good. Now, as you may know, we are in the middle of a sort of mystical confluence of events. And I was wondering, could you shed any light on the forces that we're interacting with at this moment?
I see you in a place by a precipice. There's a great plummet, and something at the top of that precipice is poised to fall. It's weighty and powerful. If tipped, it could plunge, roll, do a lot of damage, generate a great deal of energy. There's other people also looking at it. What is it?
What does Mara want with it? Oh, am I allowed to ask questions, Doctor?
You will need to be perhaps a little bit more general in your requests. I'm not sure that Cipotal will be able to.
61, 88, 35. 61, 88, 35 is the number of the beast, the thing that eats love. Mara, she's in conflict with annihilation.
Oh,
she put it in a yam.
In a yam. Interesting. will there be any consequences if this great thing is to fall?
If it is destroyed, someone will die. Someone's head will mimic the object. Is it a head? Is it a head that you're a decapitated power?
It is the head of a decapitated power.
Roll away the stone and the memories flow. Worlds older than my crystal caves, but who will read them?
Does she have this yam somewhere?
Everything's somewhere.
I meant,
No,
So
I
Mara's
also don't
trying to
understand what you meant by that.
So Mara's trying to stop the world from ending?
The world always ends. The world has ended thousands and thousands of times. When the crystal that is reality has developed 333 facets, it becomes complete, is destroyed, and rebuilt.
If you, I do apologize if you ask questions about the end of the world.
how many
it all tends
facets
to-
does it have
And
now?
no,
287?
If we are to continue down this route, we're going to. If you want to read some of my logs, I've spent a lot of time talking.
No. You're right.
This.
We should focus on the matter at hand.
Sivatal, there is, of course, Mara, and we ran into several other people. Do you know anything about a person whose identity has been obscured, perhaps? A darkness.
The darkness has made her peace with annihilation. Do not let her pipe in the night. More than mere matter listens to her.
Pipe or chirp?
I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry.
Don't make jokes for the Cepatal intelligence.
It's not a joke. It's just, it said pipe, and it reminded me of that woman's name, which I guess I actually wasn't there for in character. Well, maybe I heard it over the mic, but...
We probably compared notes.
Yeah. Her name was Chirp. I don't know. It just reminded me of that for some reason.
Chirp. That's ridiculous. No one's ever called Chirp.
And her boyfriend was named Mansteel.
These are made-up names.
They are sick and evil in the most commonplace of ways, deceitful and false. The weak one acts strong, and the last one acts first.
What did the woman have in her purse?
A bad toy, a thing that subsists on the destruction of the bond between parent and child.
I look at Cloissoné.
I look at Karen. I look away.
I look at my book.
Can I go back to sleep, Doctor? I'm getting very tired.
Of course, says Sibatal. I hope that you have a lovely rest.
Thank you.
That was it? That was all we were going to ask them?
Well,
You only get so much.
And someone
That's why I'm very
to elucidate us on the number of facets of reality.
Well, when someone tells me the world is going to end,
Okay, that was a pretty good question, though.
there's
Yeah.
333 facets, you might think that maybe I'm a bit concerned about how many the current number is. Maybe that's a reasonable concern. I mean, I'm just learning now that the world has ended thousands of times. Thank you very much. When were you going to share this information, Doctor?
Well, I will be perfectly willing to compare my notes if you wish to share with me the sum total of the knowledge that you have acquired.
It is not always about turning into swans, people. It is not.
Oh.
They're not the.
So I know invisibility and turning into a swan. When you turn into a swan, tell me what effects does that have on your physiology? Like what sorts of physical changes take place? Are we talking about?
Anyway, what were you hoping to learn from Sepital?
Yes, let's focus on that rather than my anatomy.
So it sounds like, Cipital has trouble seeing non-mystical things. So it does seem like all the people you thought were involved are in fact involved, beyond just, although you didn't ask about Francois or Marie, so.
We ran out of questions.
So Cipital, how should I drug these security guards, yo?
Well, actually, once we
Cipital,
are
where I can
finished-
get a crane?
I'm going
So what
to.
are the lottery numbers for tomorrow?
Hey, my favorite Unknown Armies is the supernatural solution to mundane problems.
Once we are finished with this, I'm going to close up my book and file it in my bag with the rest of my books and things and begin working on a ritual.
Okay.
Don't really know what the ritual is going to be, but I'm going to get a printout of the museum's floor plan. I'm going to buy some action figures. And
All right.
Put the arm off one and write Francois on it, sit it at a desk.
We'll fast forward a little bit through a few days because it sounds like you guys have plans that are going to take a bit of time. Give me, brief versions of the stuff you're going to do over the next few days to push this forward. It sounds like the doc is doing a ritual. Jesse, you're getting it sounds like you're amassing the physical stuff you're going to need to move this.
Right.
So,
I'm trying to figure out how to get it out of the museum and if there's any way to just bypass the museum. But it doesn't sound like it's going to work.
Well, you're going to need some kind of wheeled conveyance. That's easy to get. And you were also talking about maybe clocking the guards or maybe finding out if one of the guards is corruptible.
Yes, that would be good.
Okay.
How many nights do we want to spend doing this?
I'm assuming it's going to take like 2 or 3.
I will, every night that, after the first, I want to, figure out how many guards, what their shifts are. After that, I want to follow at least one guard every night and see where he goes after work, what he does before work.
Are other people going to help you?
Yeah, Kim's going to
Yeah.
help surveil the museum and try and see if anyone else is casing it.
Yeah,
and see if I can spot any of these other weirdos and sort of track
Cloissoné?
them down.
I'd like to also follow the security guards, and if I can find out anything about these other weirdos, that would be great too. But I don't know if I have the skill set for it. Beyond Facebook, maybe, I don't know.
Honey, I really need you to drive me. I want to use the garment tag I put on the darkness to try to sort of locate him, triangulate his position. And I'm hoping in between Cloissoné's other activities, she can drive me around a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Fine.
You can get driven around between
hanging out with your mom is totally boring. We're only robbing a museum.
Between the 5 of you, you've got 3 vehicles. So, all right. Who... raise your hand if you are clocking museum guards. All right. The 3 of you, give me, what would it be to determine if someone is corruptible?
Connect?
Probably connect. Yeah.
I tell them actually that if they can get me an article of the guard's clothing, I may be able to assist.
I'm going to try and do that.
To turn into one of the guards, you need...
That's not my intention. Also, that spell seems useless to me. I don't understand it. It means that I totally lose my own memories for an extended period of time.
Well, you entirely gain someone else's memories. You could turn into your ex-husband.
I am aware, and he has housebreaking as a skill set, so.
And is a security guard.
Oh, that I was not aware. That information was not in my background.
Oh no, I'll put that in for the next one. Yeah, no. He was arrested for housebreaking because codes he had access to as a security guard were used to get into the houses that were.
This is very valuable information that was not available to me. I was specifically referring to actually Waikamile and their moccasins. If we get an article of clothing, I could detect a passion that they are.
Oh, yes, that'll help.
Force them essentially.
Okay,
Well,
but
can't
you
get the
gotta
camera to
be
show what
holding it. You
I
can't do
rolled,
it
but
while
I got an
they're wearing
odd
That's
one
what I said. I would have to wear it.
on Connect.
I'm going to roll my connect now.
it. Okay.
I got a 16 on Connect.
I have a 12.
All right. You have found the weak link, and his name is Jean-Pierre. Jean-Pierre is talkative, likes to drink, and is having serious problems with his girlfriend. He thinks she's cheating on him.
I flirt with him a lot.
Oh, he's uncomfortable but flattered, but thinks you're too young. But when he's had like 3 beers in him, worries about that less, but still worries about it. So yeah, you guys have got I said Jean-Pierre, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Jean-Pierre's pretty much what do you want to you've found the spot where you can exert leverage on Jean-Pierre. What do you want to do with Jean-Pierre?
What if we got him to go into work the night of the highest, like, super drunk?
Or you could take selfies with him at the bar and then threaten to show his girlfriend or something. I'm saying, just thinking about leverage. Like how do we get leverage on him? Not that Karen is suggesting this. That is
Well, we get some drugs from.
Out of character.
We get some drugs from the doctor. We drug him once he's been drinking so that he blacks out, possibly with the doctor's help because we don't know how to use these drugs. And then we tell him, like when he sobers up, we pretend that he had underage sex with Cloissoné, and we blackmail him with that information.
Wow.
You're in a coronary.
That's pretty dark.
So that's probably a little outside of my character's moral compass.
Okay.
Well, we don't tell you this part.
You're right.
Yeah.
So,
How about
so
we
I'm not saying we can't do this, but what I am saying is that you should either A, as has been suggested, lie to me, or B, like coerce me in some way.
Wow.
we have the ear of this Jean-Pierre. Do you not think that we may be going at it a little too hard? Could we not float the idea that he could be included in a very lucrative exchange for working with us?
You gonna try and bribe him, or are you gonna try and blackmail him? Jesse, what do you think?
¿Por qué no los dos?
So,
We could
so
just
both
get him.
try the carrot first and then the stick.
Yeah.
Always start with the carrot.
Yeah. We go in there. We offer him a piece of the pie. If he say no, we say, well, we got this other pie.
You want a piece of the pie, or you want a pie in the face, buddy? All right. So you have gotten Jean-Pierre. You've befriended him.
And along the way, while I'm doing this, just because we have access to him, I would like to lift a piece of his clothing for Karen.
Stealing clothes off of someone's back is not super
Like a hat
easy.
or something.
Okay, give me a roll.
Let's
Do they have a
see.
handkerchief?
What would be the appropriate role for that?
Secrecy.
All right.
Or burglary.
Yeah, that's... nope, 67 out of 65. I do not steal a hat.
It's so close. You pick it up, and then he turns and he sees you holding it, and you have to go,
Oh,
you forgot your hat.
you dropped this, man.
But yeah, you can, probably Jesse and Kim can go out drinking with him, get him real sloshed. And yeah.
Do their uniforms have ties or like bow ties or like regular tie? No, nothing like that.
It's just a a polo shirt. But he invites the two of you back to his place to play some Xbox.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, Kim's
Yeah, I
pretty good
love
at
me some
Xbox.
Xbox.
Man, I'm missing out on Xbox.
he worries that it would create the wrong impression to invite a young lady to his apartment. He has a neighbor who gossips a lot. But yeah, while you're there, it's a sad single bachelor pad, and he tells you more about the girl he's seeing, whose name is Ambrosina, and at any point, one of you guys can no roll steal a uniform from him.
Okay. We do.
All right. Do you want to get him super loaded that it's looking to you like you could probably get him to pass out even without Dr. A's magic sauce?
Then I do. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's like, yeah, why can't you guys be kind of, and then he mumbles in French and
yeah.
The security guard. Let's pause for a moment to bask in the irony of a man who is paid cash money to make things safe, falling asleep in his own apartment with two relative strangers.
That seems like it fits every security guard.
Yeah.
That's not ironic. That's just how it works.
That's
I've never met a
normal.
profession with
a security guard. That seems normal.
I've never met a profession with more unearned confidence.
Wow. Okay, so you guys have just Dunning-Krugered him into a light coma.
We take some pictures of him, maybe so that we can I can photo manipulate them using computer software or whatever.
Great. All right, so you're gonna strip him naked and dump him in his bed.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't believe you're my favorite, Kim.
There may have been some things you didn't know about Kim. I just want to see, do you think that is a self-check? No, you were in the Marines. You did all kinds of
my friends in the Marines.
Yeah,
you did all kinds of nudity and booze-based pranks on Liberty. So you're just, you're like, as long as everything goes all right, this doesn't have to be a traumatically life-changing.
Yeah, he'll laugh about this later.
Okay.
Or
someone will.
At least while he's left abandoned in his apartment.
If y'all need me to, I'll cuddle him a little bit.
Is that part of the plan? I mean, as long as he's lying there naked, Jesse could be like, here, take the picture like this.
You just want to drop off Jesse's head so you can't quite see who it is.
Oh, like you wouldn't be able to identify those arm tabs.
Yeah, no. I stand out a little bit.
So, okay.
I will not actually sexually assault the man.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be a self-death.
Okay, no, seriously. Do you take pictures of your?
Yeah, we get him. I get him naked. I take pictures. I have plans of using Photoshop to make it look like he's with Cloissoné.
Again, I can't emphasize enough how much you should not tell me that.
There were literally millions of naked pictures of various people on the internet. Why my daughter?
All right, fine. Some other underage.
It's a little something called verisimilitude, Karen.
Yeah.
Admit yourself.
Ooh. Oh, this took a turn. All right. Let me check the chat. Everyone's okay with it. All right.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, you're
happening.
You've got your figure
in a book.
You've got your action figures making your miniature museum diorama. Hey guys, look what I did.
I'm just
like, that's great, Doc.
I'm hoping we won't have to use the pictures.
Look,
I'm telling myself we won't have to use the pictures.
As long as we
he'll
aren't
go
making
for it. He'll go for the carrot.
As long as we're not making the subtext of the game, and this is a good thing to do,
yeah.
I'm okay
No,
with
we're bad people.
Yeah. It's broken people trying to fix the world.
There you go.
It's like trying to beat a rat to death with a live cobra.
So
all right, and so when he sobers up, he's going to be on duty in 2 more days. Oh, by the way, also with the garment tag, you found where the darkness is staying. It's an okay hotel. It's no frills but clean is what Yelp tells you.
Got it.
And while you are okay, and I'm still not clear if Jesse got naked and like flopped.
No, Jesse.
Okay,
Jesse.
so there's no Jesse. There's no
No.
Jesse blackmail stuff.
No.
All right. Yeah, you found the darkness in more ways than one. But Kim, you are furiously photocompositing and trying to get, the lighting to look like right. Did you actually try and get Cloissoné to pose for photos that you could smush in, or are you just going to the internet?
If Karen is unhappy with this, I'll try and use like generic.
Yeah, Karen seems. I don't want to speak for Karen. Karen,
In fact,
you're unhappy with this though, right?
If I can, I'll see if Karen would be willing to pose in a sexy way.
What you could do is find another like teen model that's like around the same age as me and looks kind of similar, that people might be like, oh, I feel like I saw him with her.
We also have some pictures of that girl in the gift shop.
Marie?
No, let's not do this. No.
That's complicated.
Belaboring the point. I think we could easily find some other photos that are not Karen or. All
right, give me. Well, while you're working on this, your phone rings. And
who is it?
It's Mara.
Oh, Mara, how can I help you? I'm pulling that favor that you wanted.
I was calling you about that favor. So remember. Okay, so we can't. I'm calling from a cell phone. So
yeah, and I'm using my burner.
Yeah, so we should be circumspect.
Yeah,
but
anybody could be listening.
About that favor, I'm not sure that it is well aspected right now, if you know what I mean. It's more information has come to light, and I'm not sure that doing it is as good an idea as I thought it was before.
So you're telling us to abort?
If you don't mind.
I'm fine with that. I'd rather not do anything risky.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was easy. Thank you. And I'll still consider your debt. Oh wait, no, that was Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna let the sleeping dog lie, as they say, right?
Yep.
Oh, and you can tell that she is genuinely relieved about this. All right, status quo.
Damn.
Status quo. It's not great, but it's what you're used to. Thank you so much. And she hangs up. So
right,
are you actually planning?
Else, get them at the Airbnb or whatever. Get them in the bathroom. Turn on the shower so that it's try and fool listening devices, and tell them that our benefactor has asked us to abort the mission.
How do you know for sure that was her? Did you ask her, is she up here?
I mean, I could call her back.
Yeah, let's get her on the phone.
And I gotta say, for this, you turn on the shower and do all the countermeasure when you're talking about not doing a crime. All right. Yeah, so you're gonna put her on speakerphone?
Sure.
And you hear off, sort of vaguely in the background, who's that? Oh, don't worry about it. Hello. So, yeah, any,
Jesse wanted to double check that we should abort.
Yeah, hey, Mark, how you doing?
I'm okay. I want you to know that no matter what, I consider your efforts up to this point to be sufficient for us to be, even Steven.
Really? How do you know what efforts we put into place?
Well, you're in Quebec, right? I saw you at the museum.
That was you. All right.
That was me. Yeah, I got talked into coming up here, and you know that scene in The Empire Strikes Back where Han Solo says the terms of this deal just keep getting worse and worse? I'm having kind of a moment like that.
Am I there for this conversation?
Yeah, you're all there.
Okay. I say, hey, Mara, if we don't move this head, is the world going to end?
Oh, I don't think so. Well, no, I don't think this is a world-ending kind of thing. Here's the deal, sweetheart. I thought that moving the head would restore certain energies to balance, and I just sort of assumed that those were positive energies. But new stuff has come to light, making me think I might have gotten played a little bit, and that the energies that would get restored might be negative ones.
Okay, well, can you explain in a little more detail what we mean by negative energies?
I think that the head seems to belong to some god or godlike entity, or depict what people perceive to be a godlike entity. And in 2003, when it was moved, things started to get real bad, both in the world and, more importantly, a lot of occultists noticed this big disruption happening right around March of 2003, and that was when the head got moved. And I thought that maybe things would calm down, that the universe would be less angry if we put the head back where it belongs. But my sources, people who want that head to go back seem like real assholes. There, I said it.
What kind of assholes?
Oh, well, one of them, I think, is beating his wife.
Is his name Mansteel?
You gotta stay away from him, okay? I want you to promise me you're not gonna even go, don't get stuck on an elevator with that man. You get in a room with him, you get out of that room, okay? He's bad.
I kind of look at
bad news, huh?
I kind of look at
bad.
My mom like, can we trust this person?
Would it be better if we sabotaged their attempt?
Leave that to me. I think I got that covered.
So you want us to just pack up and go home?
You could. I think that is what I am encouraging you to do.
Can I mute I'm gonna mute the speakerphone while the call is still going. I'm like, Kim, did they not teach you something called subtlety in the army? How do we know Mara's even give us the straight line and you're telling her that we're going to interfere with her group's efforts?
I don't like any of this. None of this seems right.
I say we go back to the States.
Well, I personally am not going to leave this city when there's such a powerful arcane artifact right in front of us.
We need some more. Can
Does
we
it seem-
Maybe we get back tomorrow. We can have this conversation after.
Angel, what do you think is going to happen if this thing moves?
Magic.
Do you think we can find out? I don't want things to get worse in the world. They're already pretty bad.
Did Mara sound like she was on speakerphone?
Are you going to put her back on?
Yeah,
Well, we were talking to her before.
Not her. I just muted
okay.
us. Yeah. So I'm.
Yeah, she's like, are you there? Are you there? Are you guys still there? Did the signal drop?
Mara?
Were you talking privately? I mean, if you want to talk privately, you could do that. You don't understand. But just say you're gonna talk privately. You don't just mute me like I'm a ghost.
Mara, lovely to hear from you again. It was quite a surprise to see you at the museum. And I just have one question. How the hell do we know we can trust you right now?
Well, all right. You can try and do this very complicated and dangerous thing that I told you would turn out good, or you could not do this complicated and dangerous thing, because I'm telling you now that it could turn out very bad. I don't know how to make you trust me any farther than that.
So
Well, if there's somebody there making you say these things, say banana.
No,
It
the
doesn't.
situation is very complicated. Ooh. And in fact, I should hang up real quick now, but just please trust me.
All right, I trust you.
Thank you. Click.
I don't trust her.
No, I don't trust that.
So you guys still gonna steal ahead? Or are you just gonna, drop a
The
smoke
girl
bomb
over
and
there
ninja
turned
out?
into a swan. That somebody can turn into Mara.
Dr. Angel, you should do the Sepitol thing on me so we can find out what's going to happen.
Well, I agree the Sepitol thing might be worth doing. Could we ask it whether the head is a source of good or evil magic?
It did say it was dark.
Well, just knowing that's...
Going over my notes from the last session with Sepitol, it said that Mara had made peace with the beast that eats love. That tells me that either she is being fooled or she's trying to fool us. Either way, beast that eats love.
Was there, Jesse, was there any sort of security code or number pad there? The Sepitol intelligence said the number of the beast was 618835. Could that be a code?
It sounded like a combination of something. I don't know to what.
I mean,
there's no numerical keypad.
I was gonna say I was thinking measurements, but that's not something I would. That's certainly not Mara's measurements.
That would be a very strangely proportioned human being. They'd look like a lollipop,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, it would be very weird.
Could be a postal address, could be part of a phone number.
I don't think
there's a lot
the number is really what's material right now, though.
All right.
Are we going to do this thing or not?
I think we should call it off.
What? You're going to trust her? You see the kind of people she's associating with.
Well, like, she's the one that asked me to pull this job, and if she's telling me to call it off, I don't see a reason. What's my motivation?
Hey, Dr. A, what did Sepitol say about the head?
Well, we didn't. It said that if it rolls away, memories will flow, and if it is to fall, someone will die.
I mean, that sounds like we shouldn't roll it down the hill.
No, but what if we just got it off the pedestal? Maybe.
That's what I was kind of thinking, is maybe we just take the head. I mean, we don't need to take it back where it came from. We just take it so nobody else take it.
I would feel much more comfortable with it in our possession than in anyone else's.
I think it's agreed.
So we get the head and then we let...
in control group of people.
So head first, ask questions later.
We come all this way.
Well, if there's only one other group after the head, we could call in a bomb threat or otherwise make the security tougher.
Well, what if when we're doing the job at the museum, we, I don't know, call the police and give them their address? I found where the darkness is staying, at least. They're probably all of them there.
Yeah, but what do we tell the police?
I don't know. We could say we saw a man holding a woman screaming and we're worried. They could at least investigate a domestic.
Do you think that it would be easier to take the head from this shadowy group or from the museum? Because it seems to me like if they are to be going in after it soon and we are watching, there's no reason why we have to be doing the dirty work, is there?
Yeah, I'm thinking a well-placed bullet through that tempered glass will set off all those alarms.
But I thought the whole point was to restore balance by removing the head and at least letting his memories flow or getting more information or securing it?
Unfortunately, in my experience, when it comes to all matters mystical, um, good and bad tend to be complicated when it comes to things like this. Things will definitely happen.
So just looking at the time, we're about, I think, 15 minutes out, I'm guessing, from our 10:30 stop, unless we're planning going late. Is that correct, Greg?
I could go late, but yeah, it's probably a good idea to either to come to some kind of
The other thing,
conclusion.
yeah, the other thing I was going to say is I personally, entirely out of character, but personally, I'm most excited about trying to do this job, as a team. I think that's actually the most interesting possible outcome. We can certainly, if everyone is interested, sabotage the other team or whatever, but I want to steal a big giant magic head and see what happens. That's what I'm excited about. So just laying my cards on the table.
I definitely want the head to not be in the museum or in the possession of anyone else. How that happens is I'm up for to be convinced.
So we have a mole in. There are 3 guards. We have Jean-Pierre. We have hypnotics at our in our possession. We have someone who can turn invisible. If we can always go in at night, roll the head a little bit, see what happens, and if we get spooked, leave.
Totally. Sorry, I was trying to keep this sort of out of character, just so we could easily. So we can rationalize what our characters choose. I think as an after effect to make sure every player is on the same table about what we want to do. Are we all interested in stealing the head, or is there?
Yeah, I'm interested in stealing it. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Kim can be persuaded.
Kim can be persuaded. I see that, like, I consider somebody to be a responsibility and somebody to be a guru. So, like.
Right.
Obviously, you guys have influence over Kim, so she can.
And also, the head told you to rescue it.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So there are the disagreements which are in character are amusing, but they're not a fundamental barrier to action.
All right.
Going to go and steal that.
Somebody give me a connect roll to get Jean-Pierre on side.
So real quick before we do that, what can Karen do with that uniform? In character or out of character? What is she telling us?
So what I can do, I can use that to essentially substitute my identity for any activity that security guard would normally do. So essentially in the place of a skill roll. I could theoretically take their identity for a period of time, although I don't like their motivations then become mine. So that's probably not an ideal situation, unless you've already convinced them, I guess, that to assist you. But
you could become Jean-Pierre and visibly be somewhere else in public while Jean-Pierre was robbing the museum.
I know, it's so weird. Yeah. So I think it's probably most useful for or specific information that he might have or capabilities he might have. For example, opening the door or lock.
Yeah, I was thinking if you can just be him, then we just tell him not to come in that day. But if you actually are him,
yeah,
I see the.
All right, so somebody give me a connect roll if you want to float the idea. Okay, you're connecting with. Somebody who's already been working.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right.
Let's see. 49 out of 50.
Nice.
You gotta really work at it, but once you talk to him, he's like, yeah, I could rob the museum.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Jean-Claude's always been a real butthole to me. He's like, so really, you could give me tranquilizers and I could knock those 2 guys out. It's like, but could you help me get to the States afterwards? Could you exfiltrate me?
Yeah, if you want. I don't know why you want to go there, but yeah, we do that.
Well, my identity here would be, as you said, too hot to handle.
Oh, not necessarily. You could simply take a pill and be tranquilized right next to all of the other guards. You don't know how they got there.
Yeah. They won't get hurt though, right?
Of
Oh, we don't want
No
to.
one gets hurt. No.
All right. Dr. A, there's a real chance someone could get hurt.
No, I'm.
That's why he's not here.
You need to know. Okay, last game I was in, the guy playing Dr. A was, no kidding, in like pharmacy school, and was like, yeah, okay, so you're pretty right that it doesn't work like it works in the movies.
Yeah, you
have
can
to
stop
have a
their heart.
You have to have a carefully calculated dose to set someone down and not risk them dying.
Well, everyone. I gather everyone around my little miniature museum.
Excuse me, Greg. I'm pretty sure this is a game about power and no consequences.
Well, so the question is, if you don't know how heavy they are you just gonna sort of eyeball it?
Well, that's what I'm going to bring everyone in. This is my mystical conveyance. It allows me to gently nudge the powers of causality. Do we want to use this to try and make sure that the guards are not hurt? Or do we want to use this nudge for something else, if we're confident that the guards are the greatest challenge facing us?
Why can we use it to keep Karen and Mara and her thugs on their back heel out of our business?
Well, unfortunately, I've spent all this time constructing a simulacrum of the museum. There's not a lot of symbolic ties to Mara and her group.
Can you impede the effectiveness of the security system?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, as I said, these things are rarely predictable. I can try.
Right.
I think the human element's probably the riskiest part. The security cameras we can just spray paint.
Yeah, let's keep them guards alive. I think that, we get caught, we want to go down for robbery, not murder.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to open up the little GI Joes, and I'm going to put a Cepatal tablet into them and close the back, and then arrange them in lying down positions.
Okay. So yeah, give me the roll for the tilt. And then tell me this. When you make up the dosages to knock them out, are you going to err on the side of them sleeping and risk them dying, or are you going to err on the side of them living and risk them not passing out?
That would be a 0-3 for the tilt. Not bad.
Feeling good.
People have died on my table before. This is a matter of cosmic importance.
Okay.
Go big or go.
Probably.
So on the side of, all right, yeah, give me a roll to make those shots.
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. 22.
Matched success. All right, you're like, pew, 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 pew. All right. You carefully label which powder is for which person. And you've got Jean-Pierre's exact weight. So
I guess it really did.
All right. And so the plan is what? Basically, you're just gonna have Jean-Pierre knock out the guards and himself. You'll force the door.
And then Guy G's cloak to then disable the cameras.
And then just pull the thing out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we going to need rolls for, really? Give me a roll for Guy G's cloak.
Let's see.
Because in one of the other games, dude rolled a 99.
Yeah, and then I rolled a 100.
Oh, that was you. Yeah. Dude.
That's a bad feel.
You could use those cold dice to keep scientific instruments sterile.
Yeah. So I have a 66 Vestimancer skill, and I rolled in 89.
Can you leverage a passion?
I don't think there's one here that.
No. All right. So you see her, dramatically fling this, and she's like, And I'm invisible. Oh, shit.
Well, the cameras are off and the guard's asleep.
Can I try again? Like clearly, like no. All right.
Not really.
All right, well,
Or you could just put a bag over your head, go up and yank them down because the people looking at them are passed out.
Yeah. Well, the tape
What?
is there. Can we pull the tape?
What's the tape
What
going to
if you,
show?
Mom? What if you just wore a mask?
It's the look of
I don't understand how you can have lived with me so long and not understood that I can't just put on any old thing like
Fucking
close our
adepts.
intentional communication system about who we are deep as people.
in the middle of
And
the
it is
burglary.
so-
This is
it so
semiotically
Cloissoné
important.
that after all this time you just can't understand that.
Is someone else going to put on a
Yeah,
mask and go?
well,
Yeah, everybody. I'd like to be wearing like a mask.
All right, so you guys. All right, give me the roll to force the door.
It's
Thanks for
nice
setting
to
me up
know
for
that you
That
kept
sounds
sight
like
of what's
me.
important, Mom.
Oh, no, I don't force the door very well. I got a 68 out of 65.
You are the gang that couldn't shoot straight. All right,
hey,
We're doing a lot of
have done
things
my
really
job.
well, just not that.
you guys are. He is. They're prying, and he's like, "Damn it! Why do locksmiths have to have integrity and do their job right?" And you suddenly feel a icy chill. And it's late spring, but suddenly, Jesse, you can see your breath.
Okay.
Is it all of us or just Jesse?
It's just Jesse who's by the door. All right, so
sorry.
you're gonna have to,
Back
you're-
out and look around. And
you don't see anything. You're gonna have to get the Sawzall for this, though. You can't do it the quick, easy way. You're gonna have to do it the hard, bitter way.
all right.
So that's no roll, but it's loud.
Can I just clarify something, Craig? Do all of us sense this drop in temperature, or is it because Jesse's
Just
near the door?
Jesse.
Got it. Thank you for that clarification.
All right. So Jesse comes back into the van, puts down the burglar tools, gets out the construction tools. Is anyone going out? Is anyone going out to help?
I'm in the van with the AR-15, I think it is. and
AR-10.
AR-10, yeah. Sorry.
Would my going be helpful?
I think I would be more comfortable away from the gun. So
Okay, and who are going to be the people who are going to pull down the cameras, and who are going to be the people who help move the thing?
I can go. Kim can go and help move the thing, but he's
you're
going
not.
to be pretty
You
well
don't
armed.
jump real well.
I think
I'll move the thing.
I will haul.
Okay.
I might be better at getting the cameras.
I'll help her. I can give her a boost.
Okay. So no one's at the car with the engine running. Got it.
Oh wait, so no. Sorry, I thought
Kim
someone was
was.
at the car with a gun.
Yeah.
I will
Oh,
stay with
Kim
the
is.
car.
Okay, so Kim's
Yeah.
staying in the car.
Yeah, can me and Angel, do we think we'll be able to lever the thing onto a cart or something?
Yeah, if you got a cart and some crowbars, if one of you makes a fitness roll, sure.
All right.
You've been rolling so well so far. All right, so
I do.
Karen and
sorry.
Cloissoné are just going through yanking cameras. And okay, here's the question: as long as the security's down and you've knocked out the guards, Jean-Pierre thinks you're going to steal the gold.
Well, we shouldn't disabuse him of that notion.
All right.
We never we told him we were or weren't stealing the gold.
Well, he just assumed that you were going to steal enough valuable stuff to make it worthwhile for him to upend his life and flee the country and be an undocumented illegal Canadian in America.
I thought that the whole point behind him passing out was that he wouldn't have to do that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
So he had a
But he does
plausible
just feel
deniability.
He's expecting money, but okay. So are you guys going to, do auxiliary stealing, or are you just
Let's just
head
go for
down?
the head.
Yeah,
as
let's
it
get
were?
the
Head is
Let's
what
just
is
get the
important.
Okay. All
Let's
right.
eat that
And
way.
are Karen and Cloissoné together as they work the cameras. So you're like, okay, I'll give you an upsee.
I think so, but you can tell me different if you think.
Yeah, no, I think that we're together, and I've probably, unlike my mom, masked up.
Yeah, it's a mother-daughter bonding.
All right. Yeah. Oh, so Karen is unmasked?
Well, I don't have anything else I can put on. I don't. I mean, I think I probably
surgical mask.
You mean? I don't think you understand. I have to wear the whole thing.
Are you going to go in where the cameras can see your face with your face bare?
Can you put on makeup?
That is not my intention. Could I, in fact?
You could stay in the van.
If you want, we can have a moment where I give you a hard time about it, and you eventually relent, despite it being against your nature as an adept.
I guess it would not be taboo specifically, but it makes my skin itch. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you've got on,
a baklava or whatever.
All right.
Jesse is wearing a mask and also wearing special shoes.
Yes, the special shoes. So as you two are up there, so you've helped Cloissoné get up, and she pulls the cord, and blood pours out.
Okay, cool.
Did you cut yourself? Honey, are you okay?
No, it came out of the wall, right, Greg?
Yup.
No, it's out of the wall. The blood is coming from the wall.
Blood coming from the wall. I'm
Mom,
writing
what's going on? Why is blood coming out of the wall?
I'm going to assume that didn't happen when we cut the door.
No, door was fine.
So you got a cold spot, now you got walls bleeding?
Unnatural phenomena, baby. Classics. Yeah. And
That stress check?
Ooh.
You've got... How hardened are you? You've been exposed to the paranormal before.
I have a respectable 3 notches.
Yeah, this isn't there yet. This is, you're like...
It's just a little wall blood.
You're like,
Just
oh,
a
it's like
little
Thanksgiving. It's like Thanksgiving when Mom got really upset with Dad. You've probably seen the way that Karen has been hoarding charges. You've probably seen weird stuff like this before.
Oh yeah, I always forget that adepts cause unnatural phenomena. I should use that in my games more.
So yeah, you guys climb down and are kind of looking at that, and then you see out of the corner of your eye a little movement.
I look at the movement.
Something's ducking behind the wall. Let's see. You guys are in like.
Can I use?
You're in the special exposition room, and yeah, it's ducking back into 20th century, which is a camera you don't really have to take down, right?
No.
But you want to take down the one all the way down by the guard booth.
Yes. Is there?
So
can I use the garment tag to identify if that movement that Cloissoné, I assume, just was sort of looking at?
I probably motion towards it and look at you for guidance.
Is the darkness in my vicinity? Is he in that direction?
His tracksuit isn't. Their tracksuit.
Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Okay.
No, the tracksuit seems to be back at the hotel.
Ignore it. It's probably just another. It's like outgassing from the head. It probably senses that we're about to move it or something. Let's just stay focused.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are gonna go and get the other camera.
We're all mic'd up, right? Still, we never like.
Sure.
Okay, so I need fitness rolls from Angel and Jesse.
Big money. Drop my die.
It's just one of us needs to make it?
Just one of you needs to make it.
Well, it's not me.
Hey, 36 under 55.
All right. So yeah, you've in your residency, you moved people from bed to gurney, so you know how to move a large object. So between the two of you, there's a pretty loud thud as it goes on there, and it seems to be gazing up at you accusingly. But yeah, you've got it on the cart, and now you're just going to have to painfully shove that into the van. But wait for the camera to get bonked first. So you're there moving that. The other two of you are going down the glass hallway. And so Jesse and Dr. A now see something peeking out at them from about, let's see, you guys are here and you see something back in here. It's small.
Okay. Like, does it ducks behind something or?
Behind the edge of the wall, and then kind of peeks out and moves back, and you just get this small, it looks, you're like, is that a cat? Is there a cat in the museum? Gonna go check it out.
Nope. Nope.
We're wise to your games, Greg.
All right. So
I'm gonna throw a blanket over this face on this head. I don't like that, but no, I'm staying right here.
Angel.
I'm going to pull a syringe out of my pocket, uncap it, and fill it with Cipitol. I'm assuming that we don't both need to be pushing the cart, right?
It will move faster if both of you are pushing it, but Jesse may be okay with you tooling up.
Yeah.
What sort of dose? Like Cloissoné, Kim, Lowland Gorilla? How much are you going to put in here?
I have a vision of Man Steel's biceps, so I'm shooting for Man Steel's biceps. If there is a cat, I feel even less bad about a cat than I do about security guards.
Okay. But you're not approaching.
No, I am staying very close to Jesse.
And all right, when the women are coming back, and then you see something flop over in the doorway, and it's a stuffed animal.
Not snakes, not snakes, not snakes.
Nope, it's a grungy stuffed animal, like a toy bunny.
Evil toy. Sorry, do we see this as well, or just him?
Not yet. Jesse is, Jesse is busily pushing 600 pounds on 4 wheels. You've got the camera down. You're coming back, so it's just the doctor who sees this thing.
Would you say that I could use my hearing Cipitol identity to just make a general arcana check, perhaps?
Sure.
I'm trying to draw a line between all of the assorted weirdness that we have seen, and
I didn't see it, but yeah, I know witches do that. That's witches stuff.
You didn't see what? You didn't see what?
23.
So yeah, evil toys are totally a thing. If a stuffed animal or a toy is present when a child is murdered in front of their parents, they come alive at night and they go around and kill people.
Unfortunately, I look at my syringe full of drugs and go, ah.
And yeah, and there is this little fluffy purple bunny, just sort of staring at you with its blank button eyes. The women show up and are helping Jesse move the cart.
Do we see the bunny?
Yep, all of you can see the bunny now.
How long has that been there?
Too long. Too long.
Let's get
What
out
are
of
you guys
here.
talking about? I can hear
Is
you
it
talking
coming
about
for us?
something. What is it?
Its mouth opens.
Okay, I am taking out a seam ripper out of my pocket, and I am prepared to tear this thing apart because I am a seamstress.
Okay, yeah.
So I think I'm actually on even ground with this thing.
Is anyone getting closer?
Get behind me.
I get behind my mom.
Is anyone getting closer to it, or are you just
Is it
staying
between us and the door?
No. Oh, wait, maybe it is. Yes, it would be.
Out the other side. Can we go to the broken door, the one near the guards?
Sure.
We have, well,
You're gonna have to push it a long way away, and there's another camera.
I just pushed the. I want to push the cart over the bunny.
Okay.
Okay, so you're the one going first, right? And you're gonna put 600 pounds of pressure on it. All right, you just roll it right towards it, and it's lying there with its mouth open. And at the last minute, you see the barrel of a gun come out of its mouth, and it goes off.
Oh no!
The most dangerous and terrifying arcane artifact of Unknown Armies, a gun.
I mean, it's
No lies
Wizard stuff,
detected. Yeah. So the angle is upward, and it hits you right under, not right under the ribs, but between the rib and the hip. It's incredible. You guys have been trying to stay quiet because burglary, but this is incredibly loud. And those of you who are behind him watching him push this, see the exit and see, the hole appear in the back of his shirt and the blood.
I am going to grab him and drag him so that the stone is between him and the bunny, and immediately go into doctor mode.
Okay.
I left him.
Yeah, you guys have lost track of the rabbit. It's not under the cart.
I'm pushing
not my
Cloissoné
concern.
toward the exit and
Are you
hurrying there myself.
All right, so Dr. A is helping Jesse. Karen is pushing Cloissoné. Who's moving the head?
Yeah, I'm gonna. If no one is moving the head, I move the head.
Leave it.
Oh,
leave it,
by
leave
the
it, leave it,
way,
leave
Karen, make a violence check.
it. Okay.
Cloissoné,
Wait, Karen.
make a violence check.
oh, 2.
Nice.
Oh gosh, sorry, I'm not used to this character sheet. Oh, it's the bottom one. Okay, and I defend with fitness. Whoop. That's a 6. I'm pretty sure that's gonna pass either way.
Oh yeah, you
So that's
got
hard notch for me.
you ladies have got some genetic steel going there. It's like the racial memory of the ancestral memory of seeing horrendous stuff happen. Apparently,
Natural childbirth. Thank you.
Yeah.
Karen.
I turn to my mom and say, "Mom, if you want me out of here fast, you'll help me move this fucking head."
All right, so I'm looking over. My head's totally on a swivel. I'm shoving it from my side, and I've still got the seam ripper half gripped in my hand while I'm looking for this thing.
okay. And so, Dr. A, you're like, Jesse, it was a clean through and through. You're going to be just fine. We're going to get you into the van, and I am going to street dock this, and I am going to send you to your happy place.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, you guys
And
get.
also, with
Doctor, look out for that, whatever the fuck it is.
All right. Meanwhile, back in the van, Kim.
That woman in her stupid cropped pants and stupid sweater.
Kim, give me a notice roll.
Uh, 38 under my 55, which, yeah.
All right, so you're waiting out there and you're watching, and you see off in the distance a track-suited figure. And as you watch, it brings up a silver oblong like this.
Don't let him play the flute.
I shoot him.
Okay.
Okay.
This escalated quickly.
Got a 37 under 65 for former Marine.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. And you just falls.
No.
All right, and and then you hear the gunshot inside the building. They happened at the exact same moment. Yeah, let's do that. That's a fun coincidence. Or they are close enough together that the people who are inside getting deafened by the gun bunny aren't outside getting deafened by the AR-10. So you guys bang the head through the door, and you see Kim standing outside the van, wreathed in gun smoke, rifle raised.
Hostiles, get into the van.
Do what the smart man says.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are getting in the van.
Do I
Did
need
you
to make
see it?
like a violence
Did you
check
see it?
for
Did
just
you see the
shooting
bunny?
somebody?
I'll show you to Kim. I have no idea what Kim just shot. I'm assuming it was the stuffed animal.
There is another gunshot, and a hole appears in the side of the van, right about this far from Kim's, would have been center mass.
Right. Using the van as cover, I want to try and make another notice check to see if I can tell where that
you saw the
gunshot
muzzle
came from.
flash, but it's gonna be a little hard to shoot back. Are you just gonna bail for the van?
Yeah. Let's just get everybody in the van and drive away.
Yep.
Well,
Okay.
hey, you're on driver duty. I think that we have either no license, has a gun, or has been shot.
Yeah.
Are we abandoning the head or?
No,
No,
you
it's not
guys,
that-
you guys
Oh,
are
we got
getting the head cramp. Yeah, they're probably gonna have another opportunity while you're cramming the 600-pound head and the bleeding man inside. So let's
I'm positioning myself so that, or rather, I'm making sure I'm on the side between me, my daughter, and the gunshot.
okay, yeah. So the van's parked with the passenger side facing the source of the gunfire. As Cloissoné is getting into the driver's side, someone out there shouts, "Just give us the head."
I shout back, "Go fuck yourself!" And Cloissoné, start the goddamn engine!
All right, you're and Kim is what? Gonna get in the passenger side? Gonna get in the back of the van?
I thought Kim was going to drive the van.
I thought Cloissoné was gonna. So
Oh,
Kim and
Cloissoné,
Cloissoné
okay,
are
yeah,
both trying.
I'll get in the back of the van so I can shoot out the back.
Okay. There's probably gonna be another You're gonna be out there
Sure.
while they're hoisting
Yep.
stuff up. Oh man. Okay. Ooh. So, on one hand, the person firing at you rolled a 95. On the other hand, shooting at things is their obsession skill. So Kim is, coming around the back and is just swinging in when you see his neck separate. He was shot with a scoped rifle that's used to take down moose. So just down.
Is that a violence check for any of us?
I think
all of us.
any who saw that, probably Cloissoné, who's probably now painted half of her face.
No,
with
he
gold.
was running around towards the back.
Oh, got it.
So Cloissoné is in the driver's seat.
Got
So it's Dr. A, again, seen it. Jesse not paying attention to his surroundings due to having been shot and going into shock and, staring up at the van. So it's probably just Karen.
99. I'm failing that violence check.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Is it down to fight, flight, or freeze, or
Yep.
do I have other options?
You're inside the van, so
I will just scream hysterically and curl into a fetal ball.
okay. Cloissoné, you hear your mom let loose with sounds you never want to hear from anyone ever again.
Can I buckle her in?
No, she's in the back. You're starting up.
Okay.
I'm yelling, go, 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 go.
Okay,
go,
give me a pursuit roll.
Me?
Yep.
All right. 52. That's the near pass.
So you succeeded?
I succeeded, yes.
All right, so you rocket out of there. Karen just tips over. Jesse yells, and as you're pulling out, this rather nice late model sedan pulls out almost next to you, but you manage to cut it off and, take a hard right. It tries to repeat the right, but is coming at a different angle, goes up on the curb.
I
So-
turn towards the sedan and I shout, "God damn it, this is all your fault!"
Say the same thing
and I
to the
got
head.
it.
All right, and you guys get away. You're back at the B&B before you realize that before Cloissoné and Jesse realize that Kim's body is cooling in the Civ parking lot. All right, and that's where we'll break.
That
So
went way better than the last game I was in.
that was extremely fun, and I hope one of you will proceed on to round 2 when you take on the roles of the Darkness, Mara, and that group.
Ooh.
Sounds
Good
fun.
times.
This was a real pleasure. Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone.
this
Thank
was
you for
great.
running,
Thank you
Greg.
so
This was a
much.
treat.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, everyone. It was great.
All right.
Good meeting you guys.
Yeah, it was great
Yep.
meeting everyone.
Ta-ta.